Well, no, Scientology hurts children. My name is Eric Rader. I was born into Scientology. So as a child, I quit elementary school to go study Scientology full time on their Bridge to Total Freedom is what it's called. And I did this to, of course, get my parents' affection, attention, and love. And by the time I'm a preteen, I'm taking care of the mental well-being of people who are legitimately 30, 40, 50 years older than I am. And what Dynetics processing supposedly does, it locates, you help the pre-clear locate incidents of great pain, great stress, great sorrow, great misemotion, okay? And you go through those incidents with them. And then earlier similar ones just like it. Needless to say, that's a lot more than a child can handle. And you're not allowed to speak with anyone about it at any time. You're never ever allowed to speak with anyone about what happens in a session. Can't talk to your mom or dad. Can't talk to anybody. And so you just hold that stuff in. And you start to think everyone's crazy as well, needless to say. Children can't consent. I would have done whatever they told me I needed to do to be a loved member of the family, you know. And if you ever don't do what they say, you risk losing your entire family. They can disconnect you from every last person you know, and you are absolutely jobless, penniless, homeless, rudderless. They get a hold of you when you're at your absolute weakest, and that's also when they tend to get rid of you, when you're at your absolute weakest, okay? So the reality is, this is a incredibly destructive cult, and they don't believe in child abuse because they say that you're a 75 trillion year old being, or 4 quadrillion, whatever. That's when time started. You're actually older than that. But anyway, who's counting? And so you're in a small body that you come back over and over and over again, okay, to this prison planet. And you're in a small body. So you're not a child, okay? That's what they say. You're not a child. And that's why it's not abusive to reintroduce you to stuff you already knew about, okay? They don't see any abuse in that. And so they were treating me as if I was 45 years old. And you can see the mind control, because like that kind of stuff would worry me. Like when I was in as a child, okay, Time magazine came out with a cover story that just decimated, and it said the cult of greed. It was a cover story. The guy I worked for was a Scientologist. OT8, and he gave me a bunch of money and said, go buy all the Time magazines you can find in every corner store, every 7-Eleven, every Walgreens, everything, everywhere. Go. And I just filled up my car with those suckers, and they were expensive. They were like $5 a piece back then. Okay, Time magazine wasn't cheap. And I mean, and don't you think I knew something was wrong then? Okay, don't you think? And like, why would they put someone on this who doesn't even understand it? Okay? They're not going to allow him to go up the bridge. He's not going to go up the bridge. It's impossible. There's people at Flag, been there 30 years, like Mateo in security. He's done the PTSSP course, the student hat, HQS, okay? I've done all the courses this guy Sean here has not done, okay? Hello. And so, the point is, there's never going to be a time where he's of enough value to them, because the higher up the bridge you go, the better the odds are that you actually blow. The bigger the carrot is, quite frankly, the longer you'll stick around. And you'll even put up with incredible abuse, okay? Like, it's not Sean's fault that no one in the world wants a Dianetics book. It's not his fault that there's all the 12 people on earth that don't know this thing's a sham. Okay? If he even understood the OT levels, which he'll never get to see, he would already know Dianetics is meaningless. You go clear and your problems are not even remotely solved, but you don't know that until you get to the OT levels. All right? And on OT1, you got to spot a being. That's what you got to do.
Character incoming.
Okay? On OT2, you have to take care of basically the booby traps on your hole track. Okay? That's that the Osa walk of all times. The booby trap on the hole track. Okay? And those are that's what you're taking care of. And incident 1 and incident 2. Incident 1's the beginning of time. Incident 2 is the whole Xenu story. And then on OT3, you take care of the whole Xenu business, right? Nobody. And then, on OT4, you get rid of the drugged out body thetans. And these body thetans are in clusters on your thetan. Clusters, the body thetans like to be in clusters, and the clusters like to be attached to clusters. They also like to take pictures of said clusters. It's what I call an OT rickroll, okay? And so what occurs is you think you have to break up these clusters in order to get rid of them. You literally do, okay? So you have to run them through incident 2. If it doesn't break up, it's because it's a picture. It's not actually the body things. And now, when you start breaking them up, right, you audit each body thetan individually until they're willing to leave and pick up a body. Now, on OT4, you never finish it until there's nothing left. It's just till you get a gain attainment. On OT4, it's the drugged out body thetans that won't leave. They're literally drugged out and hanging on you, okay? That's literally what they're doing. And so that's literally what they're doing. That's what you handle on OT4. On OT5, you actually take care of, it's reintroducing yourself to the matter, energy, space, and time around you, okay? So like I would look at this tree and I would put energy in the tree, okay? I can look at that tree and then take energy out of the tree. There's then drills where I'll throw a mental beam, an energy beam around a pole or a tree, and I will actually get closer to the tree without moving my legs by literally shortening the beam. That's one of the drills. The other drills you do inside, you lay down on a couch, literally lay down on a couch, close your eyes, and then you get to spot something outside. Spot a being outside. Spot a spot on the sun. Spot a spot on your body. Okay, these are the drills you do. And then you do amazing things like spot 2 spots on the sun. Okay, spot 2 spots on your body. That's OT5. OT6 is learning how to audit OT7. Okay, and it's such a pain in the ass that it takes its own course. We're going through that next. You can see OT 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. If you go to my homepage and click lives, I haven't put them in a playlist yet, but they're all within the last 2 months anyway. And the thing about it, like I say, if he was going to give up his life, let's say, to martyr for everyone else, including himself, you can understand that. That's been done forever, okay? But number one, this is 2026, and Scientology actually has to put stuff on your computer so that you cannot look up all the bad stuff about Scientology. Nobody does that when they're in the clear and when they're on the up and up. That never, ever happens. It's never happened and it never will happen. But the people that work for them think that people in their 50s and 60s are out here because they have nothing better to do. Instead of saying, you know what? This is my life. This is everything. This is my chance at happiness. Why would I give this up for some bullshit that won't even let me in? They won't even tell him what the end phenomena is outside of, well, you know, it's beyond your wildest imaginations, and you control mess. You control matter, energy, space, and time. You know, the whole point of putting that energy into the tree, that drill on OT5, is so messed once again understands you're in charge of it. You're reintroducing that thought into the physical universe. How absolutely, just how stupid can you be? So, this is Scientology. Now, I don't blame anyone because I was caught in it. A lot of people can't leave and they know it's crap. They literally know it's crap and they cannot leave because you could lose your family, okay? But in 2026, if someplace won't let you look and do a deep dive and see for yourself what's really in there and not just believe some crap, it's the psychs, it's the this, it's the that. If you really, really cared, you would look into it. It's your life, it's not their life. You know, you think Sean's responsible for the stats being in the toilet? They've been going down precipitously every single year since 1996. He wasn't even born yet, okay? It can't be his fault. And if the tech worked, it would all revert. It would come around full circle. Things would go brilliantly once again. But guess what? They're putting in the tech and it ain't working. What does that tell you? Well, it means the tech don't work or they're out ethics. Only Sean can tell you if he's out ethics. Okay, but Scientology will say he's out ethics even when they're responsible for the fact that he can't sell a book. Okay? So